Oh,
Hello.
it's a mystery Kiki. Mystery Kiki. Oh.
No,
Look, it's a Mish
just no.
face.
Jesus.
Hello and welcome to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki, Cupcake, and Miss. It's spooky month, so I hope all you goblins out there have fun and be safe. Enjoy the show.
You dork. I love these headphones, by the way.
You're welcome.
They got squishies on the band.
There you go.
Although they're making my veil sit in my face. There we go. How is everyone?
Sentient. I am a potato.
Oh, not a meat popsicle?
Oh my god. I woke up at 8-ish, and it was just like, oh, I'm conscious. Hey, look at that. Oh my god, it's 11 o'clock. Where the hell did the day go?
Oh boy.
The best part was complaining about all the things I really should be doing today, and then my team being like, you don't think we have that problem? I'm like, yeah, but you're not working 6 days to try to keep up with the mess. And they're just like, oh.
Poor Cupcake. Such a working man.
She's having
Mish is having trouble.
having issues. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, I think she's having issues.
Mhm.
That over there.
Ah.
Pop this out so I'm actually looking at the red screen. Not that one. Wait, I hit pop out and it instead just like exploded. There we go.
Oh.
There we go. Pop out! Pop out! Kaboom! Focus. Focus.
There it goes. I did buy a new webcam because Prime is having deals right now. Amazon is
Right.
having deals right now. And it was like 53% off. But
I keep threatening to update, but
it doesn't
go
arrive
ahead.
until tomorrow.
Right. Well, that's like me. I bought the new cords for this guy, and like they haven't even gotten to making them yet. He's like, it's gonna be like 2-3 weeks. I'm like,
Oh jeez.
well, they're custom. I'm like, that's why the colors were so important, because like once I pick it, I'm never going back. Basically.
Welcome back, Mish.
Thanks. I realized I'm like, all right, the green outline has frozen around Kiki, and Cupcake is still trickling like he's coming back. So like, my Discord's being stupid.
Stupid Discord.
Right.
Complete. There we go.
So how are you, Mish? Since I just learned how Cupcake was.
I's good. As since last podcast, I know I updated y'all about work being, and I can actually say this out loud because we got the official email, and I don't have to play stupid. Ransomware, yay!
Somebody opened something they weren't supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And so that happened on September 30th, which was a Friday. Tried to log in, it was grayed out. I'm like, okay, it's being stupid. Tried again. Same thing. I was like, okay. So I go over to Teams to be like, yo, I'm just having some trouble logging in. Because sometimes that happens, you know. After like a few things, it usually goes in. And then in all caps, please do not log in, we're down. Oh, so that's why I can't log in. Which turned into the entire following week being off. Because on Sunday they sent us email, oh, hopefully we should be up by tomorrow afternoon. And then Monday, we're not up, so today's plan is tomorrow's plan. Okay. And then the entire week. And then rolled around to this week, Monday, still nothing. And then Tuesday, I'm like, okay. Around like 10:30 in the morning, IT calls. And so I was like, well, someone will call you. So I'm like, okay, I have to take off the block unknown numbers because they're going to call me and I don't want them to I don't want to miss it again.
Mm-hmm.
Because at first, a supervisor called to say and left a voicemail to say, "Oh, your client should be up on Monday." So I call him back just to confirm. Good thing I did, because your client's not going to be up on Monday. Okay. And so then they're like, "Oh, IT's like, oh, you can clock back in. You can log back in and work, but it's on a shortened schedule because your client's only open from this time to this time." Okay. So until further notice, I'm missing an hour and a half every day of work, but that's better than sitting here not getting paid and not working. And so we're up and we can take calls and help people out. Me and someone else also do emails, and the email program is not working.
Oh no.
So I'm like, I figure as soon as the email program is working, I'm probably gonna go back to my regular schedule, because that gives me an hour and a half each day to catch up. But as for right now, I'm just working 7.5 hours, and sorry, I got distracted by art. And working through because at this point I would get like one lunch, but I'm like, because I've taken 8 calls today since 9 a.m. Eastern time. So I'm like, if it continues being no emails and calls where I'm sitting here for 20 to 30 minutes between them, I'll just eat at my desk and, half an hour each day. This is not gonna hurt me. Yes, I know, sausage. Can you sit in your little bed now that you've licked mommy's fingers? Right here. So yeah, that was very exciting. I mean, like, even on the first day, somebody was like, if I can't get my 8 hours and $300, like, my bills will be paid late and I won't be able to get food or groceries. I'm like, shit.
But we're a Christian company.
Exactly. They're a Christian company. And they have brick and mortar centers in 3 states and work at home across the country. But no, they can't pay people for a fuck up that somebody else did in the company. Nope. Like,
This is where they should make them pay into workers' comp to pay out for the lost wages, because this is not any of your faults.
Yeah, somebody in another server actually sent me a link because I think they were working on getting their workplace unionized. So they sent me a link to be like, hey, if you're interested in unionizing, here's the link, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But yeah, it's like, so there's a part of me that understands why we're not getting paid, because we can't work, we can't log in and go to work and clock in to work to get paid. But
it's not that you can't. They make it's impossible for you to go to work because basically some idiot just fucking torched the infrastructure that allows you to do your job.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
This isn't like you were sick or incapacitated. This is, they fucked up, and now they're just like, well, sucks to be you. We'll get back to you when we have a working system.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like, well, on one hand, it's like, that's why we're not getting paid, but also it's nobody else's fault but the person who fucked up's fault. So you need to pay us because there are people who work for you where they are the only income. Like, somebody who was on my team, she's the main income for her household, or they're the only income, or they're paycheck to paycheck. So they're sitting there shitting their pants because they won't be able to pay bills or buy food or do anything.
Right.
Because somebody fucked up and the company doesn't have a fallback. So that's why, like,
they just don't care. You have my word on it. They just don't care.
Oh, yeah, they don't. I've worked here long enough and heard enough shit from enough, and worked closely with enough supervisors and heard enough shit. They don't.
I'm telling you right now, the first person to report them to your state's labor board, they'll go completely nuclear.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, That's why it's like whenever they're like, oh, we're offering as much overtime as you want, sign up for spikes, sign up for spikes. Oh, blah, blah. I'm like, no. I am here to do this job from this time to this time. And I am no longer taking Christian calls for a company like this one. You can just fuck off. But of course, I'm not actually saying this in any official channels. I'm just like, oh, okay. And like, I've gotten like DMs from like supervisors. I'll be, oh, can you, like, we've got the spikes going on if you want. It's like, we really need help. I will let you know. Like, hold on, let me see if I have it. Yeah, they're like, we need you. And I'm like, no, fuck right off. So yeah, it's proof to everyone to work extra hours because we got some stuff going on. But we really need help. Thanks for the message. It's like, please let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you can sign up. Thanks for the message. At this time, I'm not sure I can work any of the spikes. If I can, I'll sign up at that time. Like, I'm not committing. It's like, thank you so much. You're welcome. And that was it. Like, no, fuck you, no. Like, if I... But see, the thing is, I am in the enviable position and the fortunate position, especially married to a lawyer.
Right.
I can miss this work. I do not need to sign up for extra work. Like, I am in that enviable position where I can look at, like, even though, like, I still have, like, remnants of time, because when hubby and I got married, we were basically broke. Like, we were literally opening wedding cards to get money out of it, so we could buy stuff on our honeymoon. Like, that's how broke we were.
I know, I hear you.
So, I still have that left over, some of that mentality, but when I know I can know, because I looked earlier, I think, when I look in my bank account and I can see several $1,000s in there, I'm like, I'm okay. Like, I can deal with because I took 3 hours of vacation last week to take the dog to the vet. I can deal with just getting 3 hours of work last week. Like,
you can't understand what it's like for me to look at my bank account and in my checking account, and there's 5 digits. Like, I'm not like you, me, Kiki, we didn't grow up wealthy. I don't consider myself wealthy, but like the idea that when we had the assessment, we had our street got repaved this summer, and the city goes, okay, that'll be $4,000. You have until I think it was like you have 30 days to pay, otherwise we'll start charging you interest. Like, there are a lot of people that I talk to who are like, holy shit, how are you going to pay for that? I'm like, I have the money, it's not a big deal. They're like, you have that money? I'm like, I have that money. Mind you, all I do is work. Like I said, like, last month I had 4 days off. I'm there trying to keep the ship going so that I can keep the coffers full, basically. But like, it's insane to not have to be like, oh shit, you know, car needs tires, oh shit. Like, it's like, okay, just, I got the money, let's just do it, be done with it.
Like, and still, like that example, like, I know, like, it's like, because I have my credit card for some things, like Patreon, things like that. And I know that looking between checking and credit card that I could pay off in one fell, because it's like a little over $1,000. I could pay that off with one fell swoop, but I'm still in that mentality of, well, just pay like $200.
Right.
Just pay, because I'm like, it's still such a leftover from when I was still living with my parents and when we first got married.
Right.
That is just like, and even then, like, way back when I had, like, I had a nursing student loan, and it was like $400 some and change left. And hubby had to talk me through going, you have enough money to pay that off right now. Write the check to pay it off right now. And I'm like, but no, you're okay. Okay. Because it was still like that, but no, You'll be fine. Just
But there's always that looming fear that somebody's going to get sick or hurt and the money's going to dry up.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm. And it's just like, yeah. So I'm like, that's why that's why I was a little bit like, even more disillusioned. Like, yeah, what are you guys gonna do for the people who, don't have 2-income households like I do? Don't
They're
have
not going to do anything.
I know.
They don't care.
I know. It's like,
you are cogs in a machine. They'll just get new cogs if you fail. They don't care.
well, and talking to like someone who, and this is a mutual friend for me and Cupcake that works with me. They listen to some calls and they're like, IFC, it's like our company is literally scraping the bottom of the. Let me see if I can scroll up while I'm talking.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing Amazon does. They've run through all the good candidates and now they're like, shit.
Yeah, so it's like, here, on today's audit, Days of Our Dumbasses, she stops reading the offer, and then, like, she just pauses, like, would you like to donate, or what would you like to do, instead of, so you're supposed to say, oh, like, we could really use you for this $150 donation, let's go ahead and get that process for you today. It's like an assumption of that you're going to go ahead and do it. But if you leave it, so it's like a, yes, we're going to do it, instead of this person who's leaving it open-ended, right? So they're going to say, no, of course, like, no. And it's like, that's not how you're supposed to do it. And then, like, not, being able to pronounce things. Like, I think one of my things was, where I was like, I think part of the interview process should be you reading a part of the script. Like a generic script that you can read off. Like there's some things where you're like, okay, so in one instance, the lead's name was Dick Ravioli, right? And the com asked for Richard Ramona. Right? Like, totally different name. And there's another person who consistently was, like, for wrong numbers, like, they'll be like, oh, hi, can I speak to John Doe? And, oh, you've got the wrong number. Okay, who are you? What's your number? And it's like, the fuck? You're coming across, what the fuck? Like, how are you representing, like, I understand. This company, we're cogs in the machine, and they can replace us. But seriously? Sometimes I feel like these people are just garnering paychecks until, they're garnering paychecks until they screw up enough that they get fired. Or asked to leave.
Here's the thing, Mish. You want good employees, you have to grow those people. They don't just fucking walk in the door. And no company can seem to wrap their goddamn heads around the concept that you have to foster good employees. And that by treating employees as replaceable items, you're never going to have that. Like, I can't, like, my own team is great because I spend time trying to help them be better people instead of just going, you suck, I'll get somebody else.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, and I'm like, there's people who this job is perfect for them. And they do great. And they have the programs they do great on. And all that shit. Right? And there's some people who have been here since the beginning. Like, they've been with the company for longer. Like, the company is older than I've been alive. Right? Like, early 80s. So it's like, there's been people who've been there since the beginning, since it was out of the founder's living room. Which, good for them. Like, they signed up for that. They were there for me, whatever. But it's like, after a certain point, what Cupcake says is true. Like, you need to find people and foster people and help them, which they did with me. And I don't know if this was truly, because I was in QA and I wasn't doing great with some of the stuff. And again, it's one of those things. So on one hand, like, weren't too many of us, but on the other hand, were they just trying to get me out of QA and onto the phone, right? So because QA, like, I always knew in that position that, and working on the back end for Verizon, I was part of a team that cost them money and didn't make them money, right? I wasn't on the phones getting sales. I wasn't getting donations. But for me, it was like, my job is just as important, because I am making sure that the people who make you the money are doing their jobs right.
Okay, another fallacy. Not a cost, an investment. Every time I hear the line, it's costing the company money to do this, what value does it add by spending the money? If it adds no value, then yes, it is a cost. But the vast majority of time, if you're spending money on people to do something, you're investing in something. You're getting something back. In the case of Q&A, you're making sure you're getting consistent product. And unfortunately for you, the product is you guys.
Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, me referring to it as a cost and not an investment says a lot about how the company
Did I freeze?
And I'm not saying that every possible suggestion that comes from somebody working the floor, quote unquote, is right. But there's a lot of things that could be done differently that streamline things, that make things less confusing, less difficult to do. Like, my big thing to my company has been, when we do a change up of an aisle, we're going to add new product, we're going to take product away. Don't wait to load that map until the day that it starts. Like, get that map loaded and ready like a week or two ahead of time. And then maybe if somebody on my team has downtime, they can take a look at it, get started on it, position ourselves so that it goes faster instead of scrambling and then the company going, but we gave you 3 days to do this. Yeah, but you didn't post the instructions until 7 a.m. on Monday and said you have till noon on Thursday to have it done.
Yeah.
Like, give me the ability to try to prepare to do things instead of just having to be like, okay, here it comes. Let's see if we can figure this out. Oh shit, this is way bigger than they had told us. I don't have the people. I can't plan for it. I have to make my schedules 3 weeks in advance. So if I don't know that something's going to be a big plan, I can't schedule for it. And I go, well, you just have to figure it out. This is up to you to get this done.
Yeah.
Like this entire, the entire concept of, oh, this is your problem, figure it out, is so systemic through the entirety of society in the United States. Like, it's not just corporations. You see it everywhere. It's never let's work together to figure this out. It's always, you figure it out. This is your problem. I don't care. Get it done. Get it figured out. I expect you to have it done.
Yeah. I mean, the pandemic really ripped the veil off on how shitty things are.
Oh, people don't even pretend anymore. They're just cruel and cold, and it's sad.
Yeah, I mean, there's oh, we can't do this from home. Well, I guess you can, and I guess you can hire those who are mentally and physically disabled and need to work from home. And then I saw a post on LinkedIn this morning where it basically, paraphrasing, someone posted, thanks all the companies who are forcing people who need to work from home or who would prefer to go from home. Like they hired across the country, right, to help them with their work.
Right.
And now you're forcing people to come back to the brick and mortar building, even if they have to rip up their lives and move. Thanks for doing that. We're going to be hiring some of them.
My favorite
Like-
one of all time was the one that made the woman move like 3 hours. Like she was 3 hours away because she was working remotely, and they made her move to where their office was because they were like, office culture is important. And she took a picture of like 2 weeks in, and it's like her and like 4 other people in this giant open office.
Yeah. Or the people who moved like that because, oh, we need everyone in the building. And then like 2 weeks later, oh, sorry,
Right.
we're letting you go. I was like, the
Right.
fuck, I just moved. Like,
Right. Yeah, that should go to the labor board. I don't care what anyone says. Like, if you're going to expect somebody to move to your physical location and then scrub them, like, you should have just scrubbed them. Why did you do that? Well, you know, it's a changing situation. Well, then you should have left it the way it was until you were sure the situation was secure.
ah.
Kiki's just sitting in the background like, oh my god, oh
I haven't
my
had a job
god.
in like 15 years.
You tried!
I mean, I suppose technically I have a job right now because I'm the laundry room attendant, but that's not a real
Yeah,
job.
But I remember you applied and like were hired for a job that turned out to be a complete bull hockey.
Yes. But unrelated to everything, hubby just messaged me that we finally paid off the bed. Yay!
Yay!
And there was much rejoicing. Meh. But yeah, but see, that's the thing is like, and that's the main difference between. That's why when I look at hubby's job and his work environment, I'm
Right.
like, he could because they went through a time where their main client, they learned something from this, but like 90% of their income was coming from like one client, right? And that was
Right.
fine. Then that one client went bankrupt, and they went,
Right.
"Oh shit, time
Right.
to shit the pants. What the fuck?" So hubby,
Right.
could have easily just said screw this and left. Like I don't think his boss would have blamed him, right? Because it was bankruptcy, and then the boss's wife, who was also part of the company, filed for
Right.
divorce.
Right.
And so there's all that shit that's going on. And hubby stayed with the company and pitched the whole automotive industry to
Right,
them.
because that's where your husband came from.
Yeah.
Was that
like,
whole ecosystem.
Yeah, where like his dad's been doing cars and engines for like 50
Right.
plus years.
Right.
And that was what he grew up in. And so they started and they got some help and they started working on it. And now it's been like 5+ years that they've been going to SEMA, which is a
It's a trade show.
trade show in Vegas
Right.
that they go to. They've gotten multiple clients from that. Last year, hubby was chased down in a hallway. Hey, wait a minute! I want to talk to you. I'm interested. Like, literally, like, ran down. Like, here's my business card. We'll talk. Email me. And so, like, they built stuff up, and
Right.
they won a lawsuit in China, which apparently is pretty
Hard.
pretty tough.
Right.
So hold on a minute. Sorry, somebody asked me a question in work. I'm like, okay, I had to respond. All right. And so there's some talks going on where, because his boss is like our parents' age for me and Cupcake.
Yeah, he's getting up to the point where he's going to retire.
Yeah, there's a good chance in that, so then there's discussions going on where it's like, so basically, and so does he partner? Does he,
Yeah, I was
so
going to say, right, are they going to make him a partner is what I was wondering if you're getting to.
So there's the talks about that going on. They just hired another lawyer.
Right.
But for me, also, like, what, like, because they, like, the first time they went to the trade show, they asked for my opinion, because they had, like, a little powwow meeting before the whole thing started. And you know me, sometimes I'm like, oh my god, are you really asking my opinion? Holy shit, I want to screw things up. But for me, the consistency with this firm is they do a flat rate for things. And I'm like, a lot of these guys, right, in these trade shows are small garages.
Right.
They're not Michelin, they're not the huge groups.
They're not a big corporation.
Yeah. So, and they're coming up with ideas for stuff, right? That they want to make sure that nobody steals from them.
Right.
So,
because your husband's a patent lawyer. Oh my god, I just put that together.
Yeah, he's a patent lawyer. So,
oh my god,
and intellectual property. So,
yes.
So approaching a huge law firm not only is daunting mentally, but also like financially. Like they may not have the financial capability to go to a large law firm and be like, "Hey, we need some help." Whereas you go to these guys and they're, you know, it may cost you a pretty penny, but it's not as much as the big, huge law firm.
Right.
And also, I'm like, you got a 50-50 chance of being helped by the founding partner, the founder of the firm, the person whose name is
on the building.
The name on the building. Like 50-50 chance you're gonna get helped by and these big law firms, the big huge ass partners way up at the top of the pyramid. You ain't gonna see them. They're gonna assign you some gopher who's working 70 hours a week.
Right.
And so, and you're still going to have to pay just as much, if not more, than going to the small law firm, right? So I'm like, that is actually very impressive to me, as someone who isn't in, you know, I'm looking like not necessarily totally from the outside, but I'm looking from the outside a little bit. I have a little bit more like step back. And so it's like, just the thought of going to a huge law firm to try to get help, it's like, oh, I don't know about that. But then, oh, these two guys, they're personable, they're talking to you. One dude can talk to you about things and shit for like 20, 30 minutes. Like, they know what they're talking about. And so it's like, he consistently gets bonuses. He consistently gets raises. He is thanked every single year at their Christmas party. It's like, without hubby, this shit wouldn't go down. Like, we wouldn't be where we are without him. And so that to me is the biggest thing. It's like, I know that my company is so much bigger, but still it's like, my attitude at work is like the whole like whatever, quiet quitting. I'm going to clock in, do my job, and clock out, and that is it. And that says a lot.
Because you're not. Because you're just a tiny part of a bigger company, and you don't have the like. If your husband like is incapacitated, let's say, God forbid something happens, and he's not involved for 90 days. His firm, the people he works with for, however you want to look at it, are going to hurt because he has such a specialized set of skills that he cannot be easily, somebody can't sub in for him.
Mm-hmm.
So they either have to hire another lawyer and try to get them up to speed, or they have to try to get your husband better. Like,
yeah, so that's one of the things why they were like, with all the work coming in,
right,
and then realizing like, if boss is out, it falls to hubby. If hubby is out, it falls to boss.
In your husband's realm, it's the analogous of he's a race car driver, and you're kind of like pit crew, like it sucks to lose you, but they can find somebody to help. They lose the race car driver, they're done. No, like I'm trying not to make that sound mean, but like the position you're in versus the position your husband's in, like there's he's got, because of his education and his experience and everything, like he's not easily replaceable. He's got the best possible position to be in. He has a set of skills and experiences that he can't, like, they can't just go and hire somebody. Like, they could hire somebody, but they'll never be your husband. Just like, I mean, like, you have experience too, but it's a different kind of experience. Like, you have the right personality for the kind of job you're doing. Because if I was in your shoes, I'd be screaming at people. That's also what makes me a good manager, because I don't take shit from no one.
Yeah.
Like, I can be polite, but like if people get ornery, I'm like, no, we're not doing this right now. You stop. They're like, oh, I'm like, no, this conversation is over. There's the door. Goodbye.
Yeah, like, and I'm well aware that, like, when I told my, now this is very interesting, because when I told my friend, this was before my review and before I actually got a raise, right? I told her, I said, because I took a pay cut when I went to the phones.
Right.
And steadily got raises. So there's the base pay rate and then the differential, which the differential is based on your performance, which usually on this one client, I'm pretty good at meeting that goal, right?
Right.
Which means I get it. So that means right now I make $15 an hour. As long as I meet that performance goal. If I do not meet that performance goal, it's like $12 an hour. Right. So it's like, if I don't make that performance, I'm not making the extra like $3. And that's it's like that. And my friend was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I know, I'm aware. But right now, it's geez, Cupcake. What the fuck?
Harry Belafonte.
I was about to say, like, he looks like
shake, Sonora, shake it all the time.
He's dancing to a bop.
What is this, Beetlejuice?
Yep. No, I have Amazon streaming on. I just told it make me laugh, and it's going through all these random songs. All of a sudden, it jumped to Jump in Line. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just all of a sudden see him bopping. Like, I'm like, the fuck? He must be listening to music.
Ooh, pardon.
I know it's supposed to be a joke, but this song is catchy.
It is. I've listened to it. It is very catchy. Which, total sideline, like, somehow, like, a few, like, months ago, like, I was like, oh, for brainstorming, what do we want for this story? Oh, let me check out EDM. And just snowballed. Now there is, like, one collection from Timmy Trumpet on YouTube. Like, it's those, like, hour-long videos or whatever that just plays the songs with, like, a still background. Yeah. And I know each and every beat, so I can sit there, and if I know that I'm writing, I want something on that's gonna, like, occupy a part of my brain so I can actually write. I turn that on. Go to Spotify, go to the EDM channels I do, turn on the liked songs. So, which I did find a Rain channel, which I was like, ooh, this is very nice ASMR white noise.
Yes, YouTube is just full of, well, bullshit, but also useful crap.
Yeah.
There's so many people being creative with covers of music.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thankfully, that came. Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm like, my one program said you timed out 33 minutes ago, which tells you how long I wasn't using it, because I wasn't using it for a certain amount of time before it logged itself out.
Whoops.
Anyways, just glad that it came at a natural stop in the conversation.
Okay, let me try to read this article again because I'm confused. Okay, I'm gonna share this.
I'm not reading that.
I refuse.
For my own mental sanity, no.
He goes beyond incest in what he says in his statement, but yeah.
Yeah,
He pretty much says that there's no secular argument against adult incest, and that if a brother and sister wants to make love, why stop them?
I mean, valid point. Sort of. But it's like, that's got nothing to do with everybody else. If they want to go ahead and do that, okay. There's a reason in the Overwatch fandom I stay far the fuck away from Shimada Cest. Like, there's plenty of other characters for them to have the adult fun sexy time with. But I'm not gonna stop you from writing it.
But siblings are so naughty.
Oh my god. Yeah. Except, a lot of the times, it's like, with their background, it's like, for me, it's almost tied to their trauma. Their fucked up childhood. And it's like, no. At that point, no. Like, if everybody else wants to read it, fine. I'm just gonna scroll past it. So now we had this discussion about this in another server where I was like, there are about 3 different stories where for me it makes I'm okay with it being in it. First one, it happened in the past. And in that story, that was one of those stories where their Sojiro was extremely malevolent. But it is not a current thing that is going on. Once they were out of that situation, it stopped. Number 2, it was an alternate universe story where they were not human. They were dragons. So it's like, okay, my brain went, they're not human. Okay, fine. And there was also a threesome going on. So it's like, okay. Third one, it made sense in a way with the story and with the additional kink flavor. But those are about the only 3 that I'm like, everything else I'm like, oh, just gotta keep scrolling. You want to write it, that's fine. I'm just gonna keep scrolling. Cause that's just not my cup of tea.
No.
There's also a few like age difference ones that I'm like, oh. I'm like, even if they're all adults and everything's consenting, it's like, because for me, I was like, I know for my brain, it's like it's trying to get a concise timeline of how old people are and how old they were when they first met each other from Blizzard is like, there's no point in trying to hope for something like that. But it's like, plus the one ship is like, it's the trope of like the angel of life and the angel of death, and it's like, No! No, that trope is overdone! Fuck you! Plus, the fact of the matter is, like, in Overwatch, Mercy was, like, 13 when she first met Torb. And one can assume met the rest of, like, the founding members of Overwatch. So that means those founding members, if you have, like, a loose timeline of, like, the Omnic Crisis, and these people are in their early to mid-30s when she first meets them. Now, granted, in, like, 20 or 30 years, like, 20 to 30 years from there, again, if they're all adults and they're all consenting, fine, but still it's like, well, she first met them when she was a wee babe. And the whole thing of, like, they know she's a medical prodigy, and they're probably going to try to get her to join Overwatch, because she's a fucking medical prodigy. And I'm just like, It's like, it's the heebity-jeebities sometimes with some of this stuff. And of course, like, reading other tags, it's like... But then again, like, my favorite ships, it's like, I may also flavor my reactions to some of this, but sometimes it's just like, really? Because we've, like, that's part of, like, our conversations in this other server. It's like, when, like, folks are like, oh my gosh, you can't do this ship because it's just bad. Like, no. Let them have their ship. You may not like it, but it's valid. Like, and there are stories with these ships that are a whole hell of a lot worse than, like, someone mentioned, like, the High Noon one, where Cassidy makes Hanzo fall in love with him so that he can tie Hanzo up, torture him, and then, like, Genji behead him.
Woo!
So
Somebody
like,
needs a whole lot of therapy. Woo!
Exactly. I'm like,
Wow.
So I'm like, the fuck? So I'm like, there's a whole hell of a lot of stories where it's like, because we were talking about, like, there's another story that I referenced where it's very well written. It's so well written. But the storyline and the subject matter, and it was so well written, I was like, I kudos it, I bookmarked it, and I'm like, never again am I reading this. It's really good, but the angst and it's angst with there's no happy ending. No happy ending. I hate that. It's like, especially with that kind of storyline, it's like, no. So it's like, yeah, there's worse shit out there where it's like, yeah, you guys okay over there? Like, you sure you're okay?
Well, I feel like some of, like, at no point in my childhood did I think I would reach adulthood and be the normal one interacting with other human beings going, but why? But why? And I'm not talking like vanilla sexual fetishes, stuff that you expect to hear people talking. I'm talking about weird, esoteric, deep dive, like, this is what gets me off. And I'm like, are you alright? Do you need to see a medical professional? Because, like, that doesn't seem healthy to me. I'm glad that it's only in writing and in fantasy, because if it was in reality, you'd be a fucking serial killer. But beyond that, like, how did I end up the well-adjusted one?
Yeah, like, there's some of these stories where it's like, holy shit, like, and there's one story that I absolutely love, but there are certain parts of the story that I just scroll over, because I'm like, it touches, like, I mean, obviously on first read, I read through the entire thing, but there are certain, like, interactions where I'm like, yeah, this is uncomfortable. Especially because, like, it's called The Affairs of Dragons, which is, I love it, absolutely, because it continuously makes me laugh. Like, when I was reading through it for the first time, like, what, I mean, no, seriously, this is one of those where it's, if you know veterans and their dark sense of humor, it totally makes sense. Because Overwatch is like, they're a bunch of fucking veterans. They're battle veterans. So I'm like, I've got a best friend who's an Army vet. So that's why I'm like, one of the
Right.
lines was, because there's the whole Petrus Act which prevents them from talking to each other or reforming whatever. One of the, like, he's like one of the tech dudes, like the IT guys who can, like, figure shit out. He's talking to one of, like, the Valkyries, which is, like, Mercy,
Right.
with the whole Valkyrie suit. And she's like, but Petrus. And he was like, fuck Petrus sideways with an unlubed chainsaw. I had to
Dude.
stop and just go, the fuck? I just laughed for 5 minutes. Like, I did not think I would be reading that sentence in a fic. I'm like, I'm stealing that as an I'm stealing that. Another thing from that universe set of stories, because there's like a one shot you read before a certain chapter in the main story, where Reaper is called Edgelord Barbie. And it just cracks me up. Because of my personal headcanons for that character. It just cracks me up. But yeah, I don't, like, again, I know Cupcake's like one of the previous podcasts, he's like, how the fuck did you fall into this goddamn rabbit hole? Which I have no clue. But just finding Archive of Our Own and just being like, all of these people's different takes on different fandoms, different characters. Because I've been I had a little bit of a member of like the Batman movies and stuff like that. So it's always very interesting to see other people's like takes on different characters and how they portray them. Even if the subject matter isn't necessarily an easy one to read, even if it's not fluff, even if there's no happy ending, even if they go through trials and tribulations with or without a happy ending, it's always very interesting to see how people write these characters and also like how similar some of these characterizations can be. Like, there's like a whole like different thing of people going like, oh, Raver beans, like, yeah, there's these things, and yeah, and like, and also like discussions on like how do the Shamada dragons work? Well, especially with the new Kiriko short that came out, with how her fox works, and then going, well, goddamn, like, I guess the noodles really work like that. They're more than just big ass dragons that come out of nowhere in the heat of battle. Like, they can do a whole hell of a lot more. It's just that they've worked with their human counterparts so long that they know when they can come out and when they can't come out, and what they can do and what they can't do. And for me as a writer, it's like just the whole, like, it's really great, because then you can, like, and finding people to talk with it about, it's like, yay! So, yeah, I'm rambling because also I'm bored out of my fucking skull because, yeah,
Well, speaking of writing, apparently A Wrinkle in Time is getting a musical adaptation,
interesting.
which was one of my favorite childhood books.
That is actually one that I have not read.
Really?
Like, I've tried starting it, and it just fizzled out. I stopped.
Alright.
Like, I know the general, like, story ish. And another one that for some reason I never read, it was the Phantom Tollbooth.
Oh.
That was odd taste growing up reading shit. Well, I just as like a preteen finding Dragons of Autumn Twilight in the basement in my brother's old room and going, "What's this? Ooh, it looks like there's dragons in it. That's cool." And
Yay, dragons.
reading, and I to the point where I still remember various bits of lore and storylines. That's how much I read it, even though I haven't read any of that stuff in fucking years. And I've kind of replaced it with like 2 or 3 different authors.
Hmm.
So, like when I legitimately say like, in one of my bookshelves, top shelf plus part of the second shelf is one author. And the rest of the second shelf is another author. The bottom shelf is another author. I'm serious. I've started getting stuff on the Kindle because, yeah. I haven't seen the first Death Becomes Her either. I know kind of what it's about, but
Oh, we should seriously have a movie night then.
yes.
Because that movie's fucking great.
What are we talking about?
Death Becomes Her.
Oh God! No! I have horrid
Yes!
memories of that movie.
Yes!
That movie is tied. Don't even laugh. The first time I saw that movie, I was in the Ocean Palace in Chrono Trigger, and so that movie is tied to me getting stuck in the Ocean Palace.
It's always the water levels.
Right. Well, it's a labyrinthian maze, and it's all
Yeah.
dark with like the weird like the water glows around all the platforms and shit.
What's this? Okay, let me. Yeah, I'm currently. And it's funny because I'm currently in the middle of writing another one shot.
Uh-huh.
Because for in the one server I'm in, we have a Halloween prompt run going on that was started in September, goes through the end of October. And so I had chosen the Reinhardt skin that looks like the zombie. Because it was kind of like as a way of like pick a skin of a character that you don't usually write but especially a skin that not everybody sees. Because a lot of times like there are skins that everyone sees, like Reaper's Pumpkinhead or
Right.
Slasher 76. Like everybody knows those. So for me, I was like, okay, let me choose the zombie one for Reinhardt because you don't really see a lot of people discussing that, or, And so I was like, well, and then like doing my research, I was like, oh, there's an actual specific name for this kind of zombie based on where he's from, ish. And it also fits with where I put it, which is like the Norse countries. So I kind of put it in Sweden because Torb's in it too. And then I saw a not safe for work artwork, a drawing on Twitter, which, as one does on Twitter, you see that stuff, of Slasher 76, Vampire Reaper, and then I don't know if I think it's Immortal Jack, and I don't know if he's a vampire or a zombie. It's the one where his skin is white and he's got the red leather outfit on. And so 2 Jacks and a Gabe, and I'm like, let me write something about this. And so I wrote that one and then shared it with the group. And then someone in the server who one of their favorite characters is Enyada, and I had mentioned in the story that because it was a gathering of the vampires, so they're all there, and then Genji shows up with his quote unquote pet, right? Which the pet thing allowed me to introduce Slasher 76, but Zenyatta as a Naga, and they were like, Naga Zenyatta? I was like, I guess I know what I'm writing next. So a lot of the times the writing goes based on like prompts or discussions that we're having.
Yeah.
Like the one that's a work in progress, which is a high noon one. And it's a Scion Hanzo one with him in the suit. And so this same person really loves the idea of Hanzo with like the long ass hair literally down to his butt. So like at some point I'm gonna write something with him as that skin for you. And then I saw like an artwork or something, or someone mentioned like Scion Hanzo and Bodyguard Cole. I was like, wait a minute. Like for like Hanzo's kid or something, and that's where it kind of spawned. And it was funny because like the first chapter is like lore building, and I put it in the summary. I was like, I started reading the summary and realized I was world building. So here's chapter 1, an explanation of what's going on. I'm like, my brain just took off, and so now I have. Sorry, I just read something. I actually want to go back to where is it? Shit. Actually, I'll have to bring up another tab. It's actually 4 chapters right now,
No.
and 4 people have bookmarked it. And then I got the idea for so another server I'm in for a voice actor. One of his favorite ships from Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit is Thorin and Bilbo. It's called Bag and Shield. And so his birthday was coming up, which was back in June. I was like, oh, let me write a cute little fic for him. And I went to one of the mods who's been there longer than me and stuff like that. I was like, hey, can I sign into your DMs? And I'm like, here's my idea. Do you think would this be okay? Do you think you would like it? And she was like, that's fine. It would be great. So 7 chapters later, I was like, this is not done. It's like his birthday came around. Oh my god, I'm not done. So like in between writing the one shots and stuff, I'm like, okay, which chapter do I feel like getting to today? Like, which one do I feel like? And like literally, let me go back. So I have Google Docs, and there's probably a way to. At some point, I'm gonna probably have to figure out if there's a way to sort things in Google Docs. I'm pretty sure there's a way to do it. But let me see here. What the devil's? What? Hold on. I'm getting distracted. So for these that are multi-chapters, I literally have to go chapter 1 and the chapter name, and then do a little dashes in between in chapter 2, and and then usually when I know that I'm going to be writing another chapter, I will go back either in AO3 or in Google Docs and reread what I have, so my brain gets into the story and okay, where were we at? What is going on, etc. Which I did for the story I'm actively writing. And Kiki, I don't know if this happens to you, but occasionally the characters will speak, and because I shared a tidbit from what I'm writing now, and they were like, "Oh my god, it's Zenyatta's the Dom." I'm like, "Well, that's how he came out. It's just how he came out. Like, that's what he said. He's like, hello, I'm the one in control. Thank you." I just, and like on another one during the smut round, having one of the characters go, "No, I know you said you wanted one of the three of us to have genital piercings. It's not those two, it's me." Okay, fine. And then typing, and then him going, "It's not just on the dick." And just going, "The fuck? You're gonna make me Google this! God damn it!" So, because I'm like, I know there are different places to put that stuff. I need to this. I mean, just what makes sense?
No, from what I understand, that's a pretty common creative sensory sort of thing for people. Like, their OCs or whatnot will collaborate with them in a way. I get that sometimes.
That makes sense.
It's just
Totally
your
get-
brain working out stuff in a
Yeah.
way that excites it.
Yeah.
Because it's a little boring just going, and this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and this happens in your brain.
Yeah.
You know, the brain is an
Yeah.
imaginative device. It can do lots of things.
Yes. And then when you're typing and you get surprised because it's like something of that. Oh, so that's going to be the pet name for him today. Okay. Okay. If we're going with Dom Sub, and then my brain just going beep, and going, okay, that's where we're going today. Okay.
Oh, pardon.
That kind of sucks.
What sucks?
Some another server, like they had like an apartment inspection there, and so of course it's like anywhere between 9 and 4, and it just so happened like in the middle of his like virtual therapist appointment. Like, God damn it! Like, but the good thing is apparently his therapist was okay with him stepping away from the camera, like muting and stepping away from the camera. Like,
I have a
but
thing
it's
to
like-
do. I'm sorry.
I'm just like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like,
Yeah, we had recent inspections done, and they came to us first, so that the landlord could give treats to Ringo.
Yeah,
He's not spoiled or anything.
that
course
fat
not.
little fuck. No, never. I always love when we're talking, and in the background you can see Kiki's comforter moving around because the dog's readjusting his position.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, his head will just stick out like, "What the hell's going on?"
Is he in here?
Probably not. Is he there?
Yeah, he's there.
Oh yeah, I saw the back. I love the pictures when Kiki's in bed and the animals are just like piled up around her.
Yep, I am spoiled for animal love.
yeah,
Political space eaters.
we're all mommy's therapy animals. Thank you very much.
Yep. Hmm.
But it's also always fun to see reactions to things that you write, and it's for me it brings out the gremlin cackle. But it's just, especially when I'm like, when it's stuff like It's funny because like I took a couple commissions from the same person in the server.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're like talking in the not safe for work chat, and they're like, "Please no!" I'm like, "Dude, dude." Like we're all very open in this server about what we like and what our kinks are, and I've written for you before. Did you not think I was not making notes? The fuck? It's like if we're talking about this subject, I know exactly what characters to bring out to make you squirm. Yeah, and see, this is why I'm not too concerned about taking a break. It's been 31 minutes since I got my last call.
Well, alright.
So I'm like,
Woo.
woo. It's just so funny. I'll put a, and it's so funny because, like, in the one server I've mentioned before, I think I've mentioned this before, like, the content creator that owns it and we just have to put a note-taking GIF, like, and people start sweating. Like, we'll be sitting there like, so, this is what you like. And people start sweating. Like, I realized, like, quite early on, like, that my brain could do that. Like, take it, like, a conversation, and then, like, a character, and then maybe, like, an artwork of that, or a screenshot of that character, and make a story out of it. And be like, oh, and for a specific person. Like, one of my works in progress that I brainstorm about all the time to, like, get the kinks out, see what I feel like works and what doesn't work, started off as a one-shot because of a conversation and a not safe for work channel. For a specific person who really likes that character. I'm just like, and it's my one that is, I'm trying to keep it as reader insert. I'm really trying to keep it as reader insert. So I'm like, it helps my writing. So I'm like, yay, writing. Also, this is my first time writing a one shot around characters that I don't usually write. So I usually, like, if I write them, they're like Zenyatta and Genji are usually like background characters previously. So I'm like, well, let me do this because it'll let me stretch my writing chops and brainsicles.
Brainsicles?
Yes. I have no idea where I got the term brainsicles. It just one day it popped up as a term I use, and brainsicles. So and also what I like about AO3 and some folks, they make you think. So there's another comment on the one Halloween Not Safe for Work one, where they're like, I almost want to see it because it's like a the second Jack comes from a different dimension and mentions that he has his own Gabriel. And so they're like, I almost want to see what the other Gabe is like. I'm like, get those creative juices thinking about that and how it would work. Oh, another update from work. Open. This is still open. No. Hey Siri. Open Teams. Cute. No, it's an Outlook. I forgot. Oops. It's an Outlook. It's not in Teams. I have Outlook. I have Outlook on my phone. And you don't need your Siri's assistance.
Ow.
This is basically the same shit they've been sending us throughout last week. We want to share another update. Our systems are continuing to come back online. However, we're not 100% this time. So we'll call you as we bring people back on. We're so sorry. Fuck you.
I don't. Speaking of fucking, I guess here's a segue. Velma is a lesbian now. How do we feel about that?
Block. Who gives a shit? I still think they should have made her
Made her what?
pansexual.
Oh, well.
I think it'd be more humorous dialogue than just making her a flat out lesbian.
Well, most people don't even think pansexuals exist, so.
Look, if she can date Shaggy and whoever the hell the new guest character is, it'd be good, wholesome love triangle bullshit out of my favorite animes. Prove me wrong,
also-
Kiki. Prove me wrong.
So she's
also-
polyamorous? You're saying?
No, I mean like the two of them fighting for her affection.
Oh, okay.
Like a little love triangle. Come on! How much anime have you watched in your life? This is a standard trope. Good God, woman. Although polyamorous would be fun too.
Yeah.
Well, see, that I was about to say. Like,
So where's the dog work into this? Hey, we leave Scooby out of this conversation. This is a family show.
No
Yes,
bestiality,
well-
please.
yeah. So the thing is that I could very easily see that entire group being just one big old polycule.
That's literally the joke.
I
Like-
know.
Bunch of
Cupcake got to
teenagers
a
driving
party.
around in a pimped out van in the 60s. Yeah.
There's some shit going down in there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Free love, baby.
But, I mean, even though I'm not being represented there, I'm still very excited for it.
They should make, what? Make Freddy gay.
Daphne?
That would be fucking hilarious if they made Freddy gay.
I mean,
Because that would
who's wearing that?
completely piss off everyone who was a kid in the 60s.
And put him with the pretty lady.
Guy wearing an ascot, I mean, come on. Come on!
I may not know my flowers, but I know a bitch when I
But-
see one.
But he's a gay himbo.
Well, it also allows for the dynamic of Fred and Shaggy.
No. Shaggy's ace.
You know, that works. Yeah, I
Even
like
though
it.
he had a girlfriend once and then was dating
Yeah,
Velma
yeah.
in the other show, I can
Right.
totally see him as Ace.
Yeah, you say that, I'm
Stoner
like, you know
ace
what,
guy
that
with his
fits.
Great Dane.
Well, Velma was just the foil. Just
Well, they
to
don't.
get ladies to leave her the fuck alone. Like, I don't want to kiss you. But Shaggy, I got a girlfriend. Yank. Velma's like, yeah, I got a boyfriend, and it's her foil too because she's
It
a
was-
lesbian.
It was like legitimately. It was so much better when they didn't try to force feed relationships into that show's dynamic, and they were just a bunch of fucking detectives. Like, I get that that's boring, but it takes away so much of the fucking bullshit that everybody gets hung up on. Like, who's with who? What's going on here? It's like, you know what? They're just a bunch of friends fucking solving mysteries. Just leave it at that. Like, I don't have an issue with them doing it. I'm just saying, like, watching old people get bent out of shape about this is just, like, absolutely fucking hilarious to me. Because I literally don't care. They're fictional characters. They could make them multiracial, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's still the fucking show. As long as you got Scooby, the Mystery Machine, and the 5 characters, it doesn't really fucking matter what you do. Like, I don't care. Make them whatever you want. Make them space aliens. life is too short.
Well, if you watch the new Velma series that's coming out, Shaggy's black now. Velma is Indian, I want to say?
Right.
Maybe not. Maybe she's also
I mean,
black. I'm not
it doesn't-
positive.
She's whatever. It doesn't. Like, but what kind of racial diversity do we have? It does. They hired the best actor for the job. It doesn't matter what the hell the score is. They want to make Shaggy a lady. Fine, okay, I don't care. Like, it's as long as you got a talking fucking Dane. Like,
Actually,
do whatever you want.
Scooby's dead. In the
Of course
Velma
he's
series.
dead. Because you can't have any fun. It has to be dead, serious, homicide. Dun dun dun! SVU, Special Victims Unit.
I mean, Velma's supposed to be a gritty, like, style.
Yeah, it's the Nolan take on a fun, silly concept.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because that's
And
that's what he's fucking known for. Is like take any concept and make it real and gritty and dark. It's like fuck off. It's fucking children's entertainment.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with the whole Ariel thing. It's like, dude, she blew her audition out of the fucking water.
Oh,
So
that
there's like no other choice.
dude. Fuck everyone who has a problem with that. I don't care.
Well,
Good fucking god.
I know. And see,
Get
the thing
a
is,
fucking life.
the thing is that someone pointed out, and this was someone who, because the way they put it was basically like, dude, growing up, I looked like Ariel. Pale skin, red hair, everybody made fun of me. And all of a sudden, Ariel comes along, and I could identify with her. And then, you're telling me you don't want all these little black girls to identify with a fucking princess? What the fuck? Like, I want them to look at that and go, I can be a princess too.
Mish,
And
I'm going to state something for the record that nobody seems to be bringing up. She's going to have bright red hair despite everything they've shown.
Hi, Ringo.
probably. Yeah.
No.
they-
Literally, one of my online friends from a different circle was showing me like the After Effects photos from
Oh,
Disney
okay.
23 or whatever the hell it is. She's gonna have fucking fire red hair. That's not anger. I'm just saying, like, nobody's gonna identify with her. It's a like there might be selling a lot more bright red fucking hair dye, but beyond that, like,
Yeah.
it's a fucking live action Disney movie. Move on with your fucking life.
Exactly.
We're gonna
Like,
worry about the black girl that got fucking cast for a quote unquote white character. It's a fucking fictional species. They don't exist. There are no mermaids.
mates. Yeah,
Like,
I mean
it's-
that's the thing that a lot of people who are like on TikTok, a lot of people who think like us, are saying like the skin tone does not matter because guess what? Like Cupcake said, it's a fictional fucking race.
I will
It's
be
a
right back.
mermaid.
Somebody needs out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do
But
it.
it's just like the fuck. Like
I
for
just
me, it's like she changes races. Like hello, like
well, but my whole point is we're worrying about something that I guarantee to you because all the other ones, it's gonna suck. Number one, no matter how well she does, that movie's going to suck because they can't pull their collective creative asses out of their can't pull their creative heads out of their creative asses. Like it's like Disney is making shot for shot live action remakes of their classic movies. And the only question I have, and don't laugh, is who's going to play Sebastian? The crab.
yeah, there's really
Because if they get a white guy to play the crab with a Caribbean accent, we're going to have thermonuclear war.
yeah.
What is it, Alan Trudeau? Alex Trudeau?
Oh, let me see here. Let me see here.
You know who I'm talking about, though, right? Like Wash from. Yeah, he's the chicken in Moana. You know what? That's it. Walking away.
Okay, so I did find for you. So Samuel Wright, you're correct, was the original Sebastian, and I looked it up, and the new Sebastian is David. I think that's how you say it. Is Daveed. Diggs, born in '82. He is the vocalist of the experimental hip hop group Clipping. He was the. Are you serious? Hold on a minute.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so he was the original and won a Grammy and Tony for being in Hamilton as Thomas Jefferson. Hold on a minute. Hold the fuck up. Hold on a minute.
I know who
Who's
he
that
is.
guy?
It's that guy! Hold on, I was like, the fuck? Wait a minute, I gotta see, what else is he in? What else are you in? Hold on a minute. The fuck, because I think I know who he is. I think he's in one of my favorite shows. Hold on a minute. Blind Spotting, Wonder... Oh, shit, Little Mermaids and... Super Pets. Yes! Okay, so the other one that I know him from, most definitely, is... Apparently he's also in Star Trek Prodigy. But what I know him for, besides Hamilton, is Snowpiercer, the new TV series that started in 2020, as Andre Layton. And so, because hubby and I started watching it, and hubby loves Hamilton, he's like, oh, it's the guy from Hamilton! So yes, it's someone who knows how to sing.
Well, good. Good.
So-
Good.
Alright, now it's my turn to...
Oh,
I know I
yeah,
haven't
that
done-
guy. Oh, my God. I don't recognize him with his hair not tied back in a bun
Yeah,
from watching Hamilton.
exactly.
When he's talking to the guy who plays George Washington. I forget what song it is. I think it's the one where they go get Hamilton.
So, let me actually find another picture. Snowpiercer. So... Copy... No. Okay, can you just bring this up so I can copy the picture? Apparently not. Let me bring up a snipping tool. There we go, and I'm putting it in the channel, so obviously the guy in the middle.
Right.
Oh, wrong button. Oh, yeah, sure.
So,
Sean Bean.
basically-
God damn it.
yeah. He almost dies! Almost! Almost! I'm like, it's a recurring theme with Sean Bean's characters. He almost dies, but he does not. Probably should have said spoiler. But he does not. And then they, I don't want to say what they did with him, but they basically exiled him. So, because it has to do with how Jennifer Connelly's character survived. And, like, okay, so I'm just gonna explain, so spoiler. So, Jennifer Connelly's character goes off in a special suit that protects from the cold to find, like, she's, like, sets off, like, she's going to different, like, weather stations, right? And they think she's dead because they go to where the last time she was at, and they just find, like, the computer and the data. they don't find her, so they think she's dead. But what actually happened is there's like a one-person like train car kind of thing that she basically alternates between a hibernation period and then being awake. So that's what they do to Sean Bean's character, is they put him in that. They don't want to kill him because there's a whole civil war going on because his character is like a master, like sociopath, psychopath, narcissist, manipulator, like legitimately, an extreme trigger warning, convinces people to cut their wrists.
Jesus.
Like, literally, like so it's, so there's people who will follow him to the ends of the earth. And one of them was one of the hospitality ladies, but then she kind of realized, like, oh, he's not exactly a great dude. And, but, so, yeah. So I will be right back. I'm going to go to the bathroom and get some more water and stuff like that. So, BRB. All right, I'm back.
Yeah.
Surprise! But, so, like, for example, I know there's Snowpiercer the movie, so basically, Chris Evans' character is Diggs' character. I can't remember the guy's name, but I know who he is. Can't remember. But yeah, that's basically the guy from Third, the tail.
So, Cupcake and I watched an anime.
We did?
Yes, we did. Vampire in
Oh.
the Garden.
We did?
With the lesbians.
I have no memory of this.
Oh, God. It was on Netflix. It's humans versus vampires, and we were talking about how they shouldn't really be wiping out the humans because that's their food supply.
Oh my god, did my memory...
Okay.
I have no fucking memory of this! What?!
The humans lived in a walled-off city with sunlights everywhere.
This sounds absolutely borderline brain dead. I can't believe you got me to watch this.
Well, it was only 5 episodes.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's short and sweet. I enjoyed it, but I enjoy almost anything with lesbians.
Well, I bet it had a tragic end where they all died, didn't it?
The vampire dies.
Ah!
The human gets to live a happy life.
Well, that's fun, I guess.
I mean, I suppose as happy as you can be with your true love dead.
Right?
Yeah.
It's technically a tragic queer ending. Which I'm not against. I understand why we're not supposed to do them, because they're very cliche and,
Yeah.
stuff. Anyway, but at the same time, queer people aren't immortal, we die. Sometimes
True.
you gotta die.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to fridge them, because enough women in general are fridged. What was I going
Valid.
to say? I don't know. Anyway. But yeah. It was okay. If you want to watch it, it's called Vampire in the Garden. It's on Netflix. I'm sorry that Cupcake does not remember it. Question mark?
I have no memory. Seriously, I don't even remember us watching this.
I'm not questioning your lack of memory. I'm questioning whether or not it's a good thing.
Well, as I keep trying to get across, which you guys seem to understand, but nobody else seems to want to believe me, I'm running on nothing. Like, I have to make it through tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. And, like, when I tell people that, like, on my vacation I'm planning on sleeping, they think, like, it's a joke. It's not a joke. Like, I haven't had, like, a legitimate break in, I think I'm closing in on 6 weeks.
Oh, boy.
Like, yeah, like, I didn't do anything today, but in the same breath, I didn't do anything today because I have no energy to expend.
Yeah.
I've got nothing in the tank.
Well, see, also that's the thing. It's like, when people are like, are you doing anything? No. Well, then you can. No, you don't understand.
I'm not
My
doing
plan
anything.
my plan is to not do anything. But no, I am not doing anything.
This is not an invitation for you to find things for me to do. This is... They're like, you're taking a week vacation, but you're not going anywhere? No, I'm not going anywhere. Because going somewhere would require me to plan ahead and know pretty fairly far in advance that I was going to take X week off. But most of the time, I'm working around my team going, but I need this time off for something. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
And you're talking about vampires and lovers, and my brain went, only lovers left alive?
Oh, that's so good.
It's such a good movie.
I haven't started watching it yet, but I'm looking forward to, even though I don't like Anne Rice's writing, the Interview with a Vampire series.
I'm ambivalent.
What is that on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. Now, I did watch a review of it where someone really didn't like it. So that's why I'm like, I was ambivalent about it in the first place, and then I'm like, well, they're like, Lestat's not really Lestat anymore. I'm like, well, this is Netflix we're talking about. I'm like, did y'all see what they did with Death Note? Apparently not. So, I'll just have to, if I get up the will just to watch it, I'll watch it, but not high on my list of need to watch. I need to catch up with Rings of Power. Although I may just wait until tomorrow when the finale comes out. Because I'm halfway, let me bring it up. I am Prime Video. So there will be 8 episodes this season, apparently. I am part of the way through episode 6. And so that's why I'm like, I may just wait until tomorrow because I'm like, I have to watch it all anyways. I've been on a writing bent, so I'm like, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm just adding stuff to my ever-growing list of shit that I might watch if I ever get around to it. Oh, hubby and I watched Nope during our anniversary. As horror goes, it didn't scare me, but it was still a great movie.
That's good.
So I would say it's more of a thriller than actually horror. Which is weird, because his other movies are very frightening.
Is it Del Toro or?
No, what is his name? Uh, Jordan Peele.
Oh, okay.
He did Us and what the fuck is the other movie called?
I may be staying later today.
Uh-oh.
Ah! Dropping stuff. They're working on fixing the email,
Yeah.
and then the client contact for us was like, we should probably send some of these emails to the team to answer while we're working on that. Like, because our emails usually have, like, ads, and then it includes a client name. And she's like, I know it'll have your work name, but where we can have behind on emails. So, we need to get them done. We can't get them done because, well, we don't have access to it. Yeah. Um, I do like Del Toro's films, though.
Mm-hmm. He's
Like,
got Pinocchio coming out?
he's the one directing Pinocchio.
Well, there's a bunch of Pinocchios coming out.
Okay. Because I was thinking of the live-action version of Pinocchio.
No,
Like,
no. Stop motion animation.
oh, okay. Sorry, I was about to say, like, Disney let Del Toro.
No.
I was like, the fuck?
No.
I was like, I'm much surprised that they would let him direct a Disney film. Like, not that he couldn't do it, but I'm like, I've watched Pan's Labyrinth, I've watched Crimson Peak, I've watched The Shape of Water. I don't know if you guys really want it. Anyways. There's also a part of me that's like, with The Shape of Water, he knew his audience. I'm like, yeah, he knew his audience. He knew his audience would be made up of those who who are attracted to the monster.
Oh yeah.
So it's just he knew exactly what he was doing.
When does the Del Toro movie come out? Oh, December.
Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Toro.
It looks cute.
Oh, this is gonna be. My immediate thought was this is gonna be good because I'm like, ooh, there's Ewan McGregor, Ron Perlman, Tilda Swinton. I'm like, this is gonna be fucking good.
David Bradley and Kate Blanchett. It's an all-star cast.
Ooh, I see what you mean now with stop motion animation because I've got that trailer up. Ooh, it's Netflix too.
Mm-hmm.
See, the cricket is Mr. McGregor the cricket.
I think so.
Oh, look at him. I was like, it sounds like him. And there's also a part of me that's like, good, a stop motion animation. That's not Tim Burton. Ah. But Oh, we had some new people join the server. I put the hello there gif of Obi-Wan. And someone actually responded with a General Grievous. General Kenobi! I was like, I love you right now. And like another new person was like, I like it here already. It's like, welcome. We're a bunch of nerds. Welcome.
Nerds, 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 nerds. Apparently J.P. Morgan dropped Kanye West. Or, I'm sorry.
I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
Oop,
I shared.
hang on. Oh yeah, the trailer. Oh, it's one.
I know. Time flies.
We were actually quite chatty today. Well, Mish was.
Yeah.
uh... Do we want to stop here?
Up to you guys. I'm just here for the ride.
Vroom vroom. I can vaguely hear her trailer.
Tell us witness the magical fairy.
Aww.
This film is not yet rated. I'm like, well, hold on a minute. Warrior Nun? Interesting. I'm like, I haven't watched the first Warrior Nun, so I'm just not gonna admit to that. So,
Warrior Nun, from what I understand, is like Buffy, but more religion.
like, she wakes up, and then, like, I can't remember. I think I, like, looked at it, and I was like, eh. One of those where I'm like, I could live without it, so I'll just, eh.
God, there are so many things to watch.
I know.
And not enough willpower.
Yeah, like, I have my Netflix list where I'm like, anything that seems like it's vaguely interesting, I'll throw on there, but...
Well, I have access to so many different streaming services, and there's so much shit to watch on all of them.
Yeah, like, I think we were talking about that last weekend at my goddaughter's birthday party, where one friend was like, yeah, we've got, you know, Peacock, we've got Hulu, we got Disney, we've got Paramount, I'm like, yeah, I mean, and like, I told her, I was like, yeah, there's so many, like, we already have, like, Disney and Netflix, but I'm like, it's like, what do I want to get? Because I'm like, if I want to watch Star Trek, I need Paramount.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like getting Paramount if all I'm going to do is watch it for Star Trek. Like, again, that's a monthly service. Like, the fuck? No.
And then there's also YouTube crap to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much YouTube crap. And then
Oh, yeah.
podcasts.
Right.
There's
Yeah,
just
like-
so much media overload.
Yeah, like, and for podcasts, like, right now I'm trying to catch up on Scared to Death. So I got, because I'm one of their Patreon supporters. So I'm catching up on the regular episodes, and then I've got to go back and really listen to all the bonus episodes. And then at some point, I need to catch up with Time Suck, because, but the thing is that their things have morphed from like 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour, to like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So it's like, when am I going to listen to this stuff? Like, and sometimes it's stuff that I may not be in the right mindset to listen to, like serial killers. Like, so it's like, I don't know if I want to listen to about a serial killer, you know.
Yeah.
So, good, I might as well. Sorry, I got open something up for work really quick. Allow.
Oh, it's Loading Ready Run's 19th birthday.
Woo!
I wonder if they're gonna do anything.
Right. You know? Yes, I know I replied to all. Thank you. I watched myself do it. So yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like getting inundated. I'm like, ooh, someone messaged me. I was like, no, I don't watch Owl House. Ooh. Interesting cosplay contacts. I like them. And I just lost my train of thought, so I don't know what the fuck. Oh yes, we were talking about streaming services. So it's kind of like, when am I going to, um, you know, listen to them? Like, especially when they're longer. Like, Cured to Death is like, they're maybe hour and 20 minutes, so it's not too long. But still, it's like, I don't really get a chance just to listen to them, because a lot of the times when I'm on this computer, I'm either working or I'm listening to music to occupy a portion of my brain to lose the creativity. So yeah, it's so, because with all of these, it's like you need to focus on what they're saying instead of letting it play in the background. So
Yeah.
yeah. Or you do it like a lot of there's a lot of like truckers who listen to these two podcasts. So they're traveling all over the place, so they have the time and the wherewithal to like just drive, and they're driving, and listen to, a couple episodes at a time when they're driving. Um so jeez. Thanks, watch. Um so yeah. Because I watched like the first 2 to 3 seasons of Star Trek Discovery on Amazon, but that was before the pandemic, and then they moved to Paramount. Because like all of a sudden, like, Netflix had their thing and Amazon had their thing, and then all of a sudden Disney hopped on it, and then everyone was like, "We'll hop on it too." It's like, and then you also have like um Discovery Plus, and it's like, so if I want to watch not that I really watch it too much anymore, but if I want to watch Ghost Adventures, I need to have Discovery Plus. So it's like, fuck. Like the sigh. You know what I mean? Like, it's like everybody was like, "We're gonna make $1 because nobody can go out to watch movies anymore," and yeah.
Mm.
Which again, like, and also like, if I hadn't been able to catch Dune on the big screen, I mean, my brother has HBO or HBO Plus or whatever, so like we could have watched it at his house. But I was like, no, this is one of those movies where, because this is what another thing I brought up last weekend was like, some movies I want to see on the big screen, like Dune. I was like, this is one of those that, yeah, it's gonna look nice on the television, and yes, you can pause it to go to the bathroom and things like that. But this is a movie that I want to at least see once on the big screen because of the way that it's made. It's one of those kind of epics where it's like seeing it on the big screen is like an experience in and of itself. So I'm like, yeah, let me do that. And so thankfully we did that. We got brunch at First Watch, and Jesus fucking Christ. Everybody's emailing. Sorry.
Oh boy.
I'm like, sorry, it's just because I have Outlook on my phone, it comes to my watch, and then I'm like, oh, no, that's all. We're not having a meeting today. I'll start forwarding some now. Oh, fudgesicles! Ugh. Well, I guess we'll be getting emails.
Mm.
So... Someone must be passing the house. Baxter has to wolf ferociously and defend the house.
Ringo spends most of his time in the bedroom now, so he doesn't really do that anymore.
Well, when we stop opening the front door to give him his sunspot, he'll stop doing it because obviously the door will be closed, and
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Hmm. Well, do we want to call it?
Sounds good. It sounds like we're getting to a natural point of we're starting to just sit here and kind of just sit here.
Okay.
So,
thanks for podding with me, guys.
you're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. There's the button.
Thank you once again for listening to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki, Cupcake, and Miss. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween and that your tricks aren't that criminal. Farewell, my fellow internet beings.